Hey Yogi, welcome to your mat. I'm Kendall, this is Yoga Strong, and today I will guide you through what I like to call the Sunday Scaries Flow. This flow was designed to relieve anxiety and stress. We'll use our breath work to help relieve tension we're experiencing in the body and in the mind. We'll also work through grounding postures to help restore a sense of calm, as well as balancing postures to promote concentration and focus that will bring us into the present moment. So when you're ready to de-stress, meet me on your mats and we'll get started. So let's begin seated, an easy seated position, also known as Sukhasana. Bring your palms to your inner thighs, and we're going to do an exercise of belly breathing. It's a special technique that really helps increase oxygen to the body. And it's kind of counterintuitive because what you're going to do is as you take a deep inhale, you're going to press your belly out. And as you exhale, you're going to snap and compress your belly in. So quite opposite to the way we normally breathe. And you'll know if you're doing it right because you can place your hand on your belly so you can really feel the movement. So it looks something like this. See that? So as I'm taking that deep breath in, I'm expanding my belly. And as I exhale, I'm compressing that air inward. So let's take a few rounds of our deep belly breathing. Take a deep inhale. Inhale. Blink your eyes open. Bring your palms to your inner thighs. Hopefully, just from that few rounds of breath, you feel a little bit more oxygen flowing into the body. And that's always a really good exercise to return to if you're feeling stress or anxiety, or if your heart is racing. Close your eyes, place your hands on your belly, and do a few rounds of belly breathing. All right, so let's move into our tabletop position, stacking our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees, and we're going to move into a puppy pose here. So puppy pose is a really restorative pose, kind of a cross between a downward dog and a child's pose. So stack your hips over your knees and lengthen your arms in front of you. Option to rest your chin lightly on the mat or bring your forehead to the mat if that's more accessible. Just find a few rounds of breath here. Puppy pose is one of the most restorative and calming postures in our yoga practice. And let's crawl our fingertips to the right, getting a nice stretch along the left side body. Back to center and crawl your fingertips to the left. Back to center, one more round of breath in our puppy pose. And press up to tabletop position. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow pose here. Take an inhale, breath, cow pose. Lower your belly, lift your chin up. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin into your chest, round your spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more round here. Now, come back to a neutral spine tabletop position. Keep your left palm and your left knee planted. And we're gonna open our hip, lengthen our right leg, and lift our right arm up towards the sky. Get that nice stretch along the right side line of your body. And take a wrap here, bringing your right wrist behind your lower back. Maybe using that leverage to twist open towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift your arm. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your right knee to meet your left. And take a round of cat-cow to neutralize the spine. And same thing on the other side. Extend your left leg long. Lift your left arm up. Find that nice length along the left side body. Option to take the wrap if you did so on the other side, gazing up. Inhale, lift your arm. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your left knee to meet your right. And we'll go ahead and tuck our toes. Lift your hips up high and melt your heels down to the earth for downward facing dog. Maybe take a few knee bends. Maybe your first downward dog of day. So really come into your space. Do whatever feels natural and good in your body. I like to press up onto the ball mounds of my feet and tilt my tailbone up towards the ceiling and then sink my heels back to the mat. Check in with your palms. Make sure you're pressing through the L shapes of both of your hands, drawing your biceps forward and your triceps back. And allow your head and neck to hang heavy here. Inhale, press to the ball mounds of your feet and step your left foot behind your right and sink your heels towards the right. Inhale back to center. Bring your right foot behind your left and sink your heels towards the left. Inhale back to center. Bend your knees and sit your hips towards your heels and take a bear pose. Gaze forward. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, slowly step towards the top of your mat. Find your ragdoll pose. Bend your knees a lot. Grab for opposite elbows and sway side to side here. Not worrying about how deep you are in the forward fold, but more focused on decompressing the spine, focused on our breathing, taking deep inhales through the nose, either open mouth exhales or exhaling out through the nose for our Ujjayi breath. Now, release your left palm to the mat. Lift your right arm up towards the sky. An option to take that wrap. Inhale, lift your arm back up and slowly bring it down to the mat. Inhale, lift your left arm high. Take that wrap if you did so on the other side. Inhale, lift your arm back up and slowly release. Toe heel your feet together, big toes to touch, and just a little sliver of space in between your heels. And roll up to a stand, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Your head is the last to rise. Lift your shoulders up and away from your ears and come to standing at attention. Bring your palms to heart center, gaze down, and bring your hands to your belly, and we'll take one more round of that deep belly breathing. Take an inhale. Exhale out your air. Release your palms by your sides. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, mountain pose, root to rise. Lift your arms up overhead. Press your shoulders away from your ears. Rotate your pinkies in. Draw your tailbone down and press through all four corners of both of your feet, and really be conscientious of how grounding this posture is. Feel your mat underneath your feet. We're so sturdy and stable and grounded in mountain posture. Exhale, take a half moon to the right. Bring your right arm to your side. Reach up and over with your left arm and step your left foot behind your right foot. Inhale, center. Exhale, half moon to the left. Reach up and over. Step your right foot behind your left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, back bend with palms at heart center. Lift up, lift back. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Palms hinge through your heart center. When your hands meet the mat, toe heel your feet about hip width distance if they aren't already. And we're going to find gorilla pose. So gently lift up one foot at a time and place the palm of your hand underneath the top of your foot. And your toes should be meeting the creases of your wrists here. Shift the weight forward. Place a gentle bend in your knees. And allow your head and neck to just hang heavy here. Your elbows should be pointing out to the sides. And you can really use the connection between your feet and your hands to pull yourself deeper into the fold. But keep your knees bent as much as you need to in this posture for it to be comfortable. You shouldn't feel like you're getting a really deep hamstring stretch here because we're focused on that decompression of the spine. This is a really nice restorative forward fold variation. And slowly release your hands from your feet. Toe heel your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your palms into your shins. Gaze out and down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, half moon to the right. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, half moon to the left. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, back bend with prayer grip. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Glide down to the mat with ease. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, squat and curl. Take a seat on your heels. Tuck your chin into your chest. Draw your forehead towards your knees. Plant your palms, lift your hips up, step your feet back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high, 3-limb dog. Scorpion your dog by drawing your right heel towards your left glute and opening up slightly through your hip. Inhale, 3-limb dog. Square your hip. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose and lightly step your foot between your hands. Spin your back heel down to the mat. Inhale, warrior one. Connect your palms overhead and gaze up. Stack your right knee over your right ankle. Press down through the outside edge of your back foot. Engage your core by drawing your belly button to your spine. And really feel grounded and rooted down in this powerful posture. Release your hands to your lower back and interlace your grip. Find that nice chest expansion grip and draw your hands towards your back left knee. lifting your chest up. Exhale, exalted warrior. Draw your torso towards your right thigh, gaze down. Take a few rounds of breath in this posture. Inhale, slowly rise back to warrior one with chest expansion grip. Open up to warrior two, maintaining the grip in your hands. Stack your right knee over your right ankle. Root down through the knife edge of your back foot. Concentrate on the form of the lower half of your body, since our arms are in a bind, something we're not used to in warrior two. Gracefully release your arms, bring them out to a T. Straighten your right leg, shift your hips back, flip your palms, shift forward and find triangle pose, Trikonasana. Tick-tock your arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. Concentrate on lifting up rather than reaching down towards the mat. Rotate your torso open towards the ceiling. Option to find a bind here. Gazing up over your left shoulder. Place a gentle bend in your right knee and walk your back foot in a couple of inches, preparing for half moon pose here. So we're going to plant our right palm, lift our left leg up and back. Option to use a block here. Half moon is one of those challenging balancing postures that requires complete focus, really brings us into the present moment. And also for me, it's always a posture that restores a sense of calm. From our half moon, bring your left palm down to the mat. I'm going to step back a little bit here and find standing L, pressing into all four corners of your right foot, lifting your left heel up and back. Slowly bring your left foot to meet your right. Squat and curl, tuck your chin into your chest, draw your forehead to your knees. Lift your hips up, step your feet back, find your downward facing dog, and we'll repeat that sequence on the left side. Lift your left leg up high, three-limb dog. Open your hip, scorpion your dog. Draw your left heel towards your right glute. Inhale, lift back to three-limb dog. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. And step your foot lightly between your hands. Spin your right heel down to the mat. Inhale, warrior one. Palms connect overhead, gaze up. Concentrate on how grounded you feel in this posture. It's a really strong and powerful posture. Focus on your form. Is your core engaged? Is your left knee stacked over your left ankle? Come back to your breathing here. Release your prayer grip. Bring your palms to your lower back and interlace your hands to find your chest expansion grip. Lift up and back. Exhale, humble warrior. Melt your torso down towards your left thigh. Recommit to that lunge in your left knee. Gaze down. Inhale, slowly rise back to warrior one with chest expansion grip. And open up to warrior two. Stack your left knee over your left ankle. Press your shoulders away from your ears. Draw your tailbone down. And gaze left over your left shoulder. Slowly release your arms out to a T. Straighten your left leg. Shift your hips back. Flip your palms and hinge your torso forward. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Tick-tock your arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. Option to find the bind if you did so on the other side. This posture is always a instant energizer and mood booster for me. I love triangle pose. Lift your right arm back up. Place a gentle bend in your front knee. Slightly toe heel your back foot in, and we'll move into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana on the left. Remember, finding your point of focus. Enable this posture to bring you into the present moment, because it does require that complete concentration. Release your right palm to the mat. Find standing L. Square your hips off to the mat. Your right leg is lifted parallel to the mat. Bring your right foot to meet your left. Squat and curl. Bring your hips towards your heels. Tuck your chin into your chest and draw your forehead towards your knees. Release your heels to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, root to rise. Bring your palms to touch overhead, gaze up. Exhale, bring your palms to heart center for standing at attention. We'll move into a brief balancing series with our tree pose. Your left leg is your foundation. Lift and bend your right knee and bring the sole of your right foot to your inner calf or your inner thigh. Bring your palms to heart center, or take any arm variation of your choice. If you want to keep with the chest expansion grip, that's a great place to go. Maybe it's grabbing for opposite elbows. Maybe it's finding your prayer grip overhead, or even interlacing your arm. Wherever you are, find your point of focus, your gaze. Enable yourself to turn inward, focusing only on your breath here and the way that this posture feels in your body. Maybe you bring your hands to your belly and take that belly breathing. Wherever you are, take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your right foot to meet your left. Root down through your right leg this time. Lift and bend your left knee. Bring the sole of your left foot to your inner calf or your inner thigh, just avoiding the knee area. Draw your tailbone down. Draw your knee out. Engage your core. Find whatever arm variation you did on the other side, or maybe you try something new. Wherever you are, use this time to find your point of focus. Balancing is one of the very best ways to relieve stress and anxiety almost instantly, because you're forced to focus just on balancing and breathing. Take one more inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, mountain pose. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, baby back bend, palms to heart center. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, squat and curl. Bend your knees a lot. Take a seat on your heels. Tuck your chin into your chest. Moving into dolphin pose here. So step your feet back a bit. Come onto your knees. And plant your forearms on the mat about hip width distance apart. Press into your feet. Lift your hips up high and melt your heels down towards the mat. Dolphin pose is an amazing posture for anxiety. It's also an inversion, so it reverses gravity, lifts our heart over our head, reversing that blood flow, bringing fresh oxygenated blood into the brain, which is so good for us. Maybe you step your feet in a couple of inches. Just find a few rounds of breath here. And slowly release your knees to the mat. Take a seat off to one side and bring the soles of your feet together. Open your knees wide for butterfly stretch. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing your forehead towards your feet. Maybe you extend your palms out. And slowly crawl your fingertips back towards your feet. Extend your legs long for a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Grab for wherever is accessible, the tops of your feet, maybe it's your shins. There's no wrong place to be here. Just keep your spine long as you lengthen. And as you exhale, fold in a little bit deeper. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Slowly rise. Press your hips towards your heels. Grab your block and roll down onto your mats. We're going to take a restorative bridge pose. So plant your feet about hip width distance and press your hips up. So press into the soles of your feet. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Grab for your block and place it underneath your tailbone on whichever level you prefer. And rest your hips back on the block. This is one of my favorite restorative postures in all of yoga. It's so relaxing. It's a great place to take a few rounds of deep breathing. You can even practice the belly breathing here. Slowly release the block from your hips. And we'll move into legs up the wall pose. So stack your heels over your hips. And we're going to use the block again to find the supported variation of this posture. So lift your hips up and place the block underneath your hips. And you might need to move it around to adjust a little bit. You'll know when it's in the right place because your legs feel completely weightless. They're literally floating in space. You could stay here forever. The block is really doing all of that work, supporting you so you get that weightless feeling, which is just so good. We spend the majority of our lives standing upright and walking and running and sitting. And so anytime you can take that weight off the lower half of your body is really, really good. It relieves tension in all of our major joints, our knees and our hips, and reverses gravity, reverses blood flow. Also another great place to work on breathing. When you're ready, lift your hips up and gently release the block, and we'll come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees wide to the outside edges of your mat. This is a great place to use your blocks. If this is too much on your hips, you can just gently place a block right underneath your thigh. You can bring one palm to your belly and one palm to your heart. You can focus again on that belly breathing, taking deep inhales, open mouth exhales. Bring your knees back into heart center. Give yourself a squeeze and extend your left leg long. Hug your right knee up and around your right rib cage. Give yourself a squeeze. And cross your right knee across your body for supine twist. Gazing right. Pressing both shoulders into the mat. And stacking your hips on top of one another. Inhale back to center. Give yourself a squeeze to neutralize your spine. Exhale, extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee up and around your rib cage. And draw your knee across your body for supine twist. Press your shoulders into the mat. Stack your hips on top of each other. Inhale, come back to center. Give yourself a squeeze. Take a happy baby. Grab for the inner arches of your feet. Press your hips into the mat. Option 2, rock side to side. Bring your knees back into your chest one final time. Give yourself a giant hug, a giant squeeze. Tuck your chin into your chest. Draw your forehead towards your knees. Inhale. Exhale, final Shavasana. Take up space. Extend your arms and your legs long. And completely surrender. Option here to still focus on that deep belly breathing, or to surrender altogether and just let your breath come back to normal. And as always, stay in Shavasana as long as you have the time to do. But if you're ready to move on with your day and get started with your week, rock and roll up to a seat and find that easy seated position, Sukhasana, where we started class today. All right, my friends, as always, just an honor to guide you through your yoga practice. That was, again, your Sunday Scaries Flow, not intended to just be done on a Sunday, but really any time you just need to take a step back, to slow down, to help, relieve any of that anxiety, stress, or tension that just comes along with the crazy busy lives that we all lead. This is a great, easy flow that really brings you back to mindfulness, and hopefully will give you a nice energy boost and bring you back to the present, and help relieve some of that anxiety and stress. So my name is Kendall. This is Yoga Strong, where form meets fitness. For more content like this, as always, visit me at yogastrongbykendall.com. Thanks for visiting my channel. We'll see you here next time.